So, in case you guys have been living under a rock the last few days and haven't heard, Winter Storm Fern is about to begin its trek across the central and eastern U.S. And I want to show you the snowfall map that I created this morning. So, let's move to that. There we go. Here's the snowfall map, and Winter Storm Fern is about to dump a swath of significant snow all the way from Texas and Oklahoma up into the mid-Atlantic and southern New England region. As you can see, I put a swath of 12 to 18 in purple, and then 6 to 12 in darker blue, and 3 to 6 in lighter blue. So there is going to be a significant snowfall from Winter Storm Fern as it traverses from the central to the eastern U.S. But then not only that, we are also going to have very significant icing impacts across portions of the south central and southeastern U.S., all the way from Texas to the Carolinas, where you can expect a region of significant icing impacts due to 1 to 2 inches of ice accretion, resulting in down trees, down power lines, and long duration power outages. But along with that, you're going to have extremely, extremely life-threatening travel, if not altogether impossible. So this is going to be a very, very dangerous situation unfolding across the south central and southeastern U.S. So if you are in this region, if you don't have to go out that on Sunday or Friday through Sunday, please do not go out, stay home. Do not try to travel. It's going to be extremely treacherous. Now let's take a look at the current winter weather alerts. You got winter storm warnings in pink, winter storm watches in blue, ice storm warnings in purple. They extend all the way from the Texas and Mexico border, 2,000 miles long, all the way up into Maine. And I expect these winter storm warnings in pink to start increasing in territory throughout the day as the National Weather Service continues their live coverage of Winter Storm Fern. They're going to begin expanding the winter storm warning coverage throughout the day. And same with the ice storm warnings. I do believe that the ice storm warnings will likely increase in coverage area throughout the day. So stay tuned for that. But now let's dive in and take a look at the models. So this is the Euro model, and let's start with looking at the surface temperatures and just look how far south the cold Arctic air will be ahead of our winter storm. I mean, we have temperatures below freezing here into Texas, into northern Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. We have plenty of cold air to work with that will already be in place to support a wide variety, a buffet, as some would say, of wintry precipitation ahead of Winter Storm Fern. So now let's take a look at the upper levels, because the upper level setup is very interesting and there's a lot to it. So let's start diving right in. So here is that energy that is going to bring the storm out of the southwest. So that brings a storm and it brings ample moisture. This is a southern jet storm, a southern branch storm, I guess you would say. Southern branch, not jet, branch. You're going to have the southern branch and the northern branch coming together. And I want to show you, I'm going to move this along because this is going to help enhance precipitation. So here you go, southern branch, northern branch, you get a confluent zone. Well, then you get enhanced precipitation, and the southwest flow around the base of this trough right here drives that precipitation northward, and you get an enhanced precipitation shield with this storm. But then you also have this northern piece diving down south, and then this is your energy, this is your storm diving up to the north and east around the base of this trough. And I want to show you here, you get flow out of the southwest around the base of the trough. That's going to be a key to how far north does the rain and snow line get, the mix line, because we're going to have flow out of the southwest. So we're going to have warm air advection aloft. And that's the one thing that I think will keep totals down in some areas, especially across southeastern PA, maybe portions of south central PA, into Maryland and New Jersey, and along the coast. I think that some places are going to mix. I do think that the cold air will hold on a little bit longer in some areas, especially within valleys, than what some of the models are showing. But I do think that some of the mixing will limit totals in some of those areas. And across PA, we always have that issue, especially as meteorologists. We're like, we put a snowfall map out and everything looks good, and then the day of or the day before, you start seeing the models bringing that rain and snow line further north than what it was originally showing. And it's kind of what the models are doing, except the Euro does keep it more confined to the southeastern quadrant of the state. Same with the GFS. Same with the UK Met brings it further north on the most recent run, but it still drops 12 to 18 inches in most areas, with 8 to 12 further south and east. So something that we need to be paying attention to, how far north does that rain and snow line get? But I do think that my snowfall map here, let me show you one more time. I do think that this is pretty solid. I don't think that I'm going to need to change this at all. I mean, maybe some minor changes through the day tomorrow as the mesoscale models start picking up on this storm system and start showing the entirety of it. But other than that, I think that this is a good bet. But let's take a look at one more thing with the models here before we go. So again, here is the upper levels, and I want to show you what it looks like at the surface now, because you're going to have a very large storm system. So here, look, it's going to be snowing from Oklahoma and Texas all the way to Pennsylvania and New Jersey at the same time. That's how large the storm system is. And you're going to have heavy snow on the northern end with a large period and a large area of freezing rain and sleet in between, where you're going to get the warm air advection aloft with cold air undercutting it. And then you're going to have a period of rain here down south along the Gulf Coast. And this storm is going to move to the north and east. And take a look. I want to zoom in here because I want to show you what I'm talking about with this rain and snow line. So this is what I'm talking about. Look how far north the rain and snow line gets. Now this is the Euro, and it gets up into southeastern PA, Philadelphia. You start to mix, especially in the evening. Through the morning and afternoon, it's all snow. But then look at that. You start mixing in the evening, and then you're mixing the rest of the night. And same with in New Jersey. You're going to start as a period of snow. The northern portion of New Jersey, you might stay all snow, but southern and central, you're going to change over at some point. And same with New York City. You're likely going to start with a period of snow, and then you're going to change over as that warm air aloft starts taking over. But you're still going to get a decent period of very heavy snow. So 8 to 12 inches is not out of the question for New York City and even southeastern PA, so Philadelphia, and into New Jersey. But the question is, how far north does that rain and snow line push? And I want to show you, I want to see if the NAM 3KM is showing yet. See here. See, look at this. It's starting to pick up on that sleet line. I mean, I'll zoom in a little bit across PA so that you can see more what I'm talking about. But this is the question that we are trying to answer right now, is how far north does that rain and snow line or sleet line get? And I do think that the cold air will hold on longer than what some of these models are showing. But, and as you can see, the Euro has the sleet line further south at this point, whereas the NAM 3KM is further north with it. But I do think that the cold air will hold on longer than what the NAM 3KM is showing. But it's worth watching. It's worth watching. I want to watch the trends over the next day. And if I have to update my snowfall map, I will have it updated by tomorrow morning. But I want to watch a few more model runs first just to kind of get an idea as to possibly how far north. But with the flow out of the southwest around the base of the trough, you're definitely going to get warm air advection aloft. It's just how long does that cold air hold on? Sometimes it does hold on longer than what the models are showing, especially living in a valley. And you have the Susquehanna Valley here in Pennsylvania, where the cold air can hold on longer, but it's really worth watching, so because that could drastically change snow totals. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for further updates, and like and subscribe.